In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to share something that made a billionaire give away everything he owned, made a neuroscientist quit his job at Harvard, and completely changed how I see reality. And it all started with discovering these 7 ancient truths that every major religion tried to hide in plain sight. But here's what's crazy. Modern quantum physics is now proving what mystics knew 5,000 years ago. And truth number 3, it's so controversial that when I shared it with my physicist friend, he couldn't sleep for 3 days. Look, whether you're spiritual, scientific, or somewhere in between, these 7 principles will fundamentally rewire how you see everything. By the end of this video, you'll understand why reality isn't what you think it is, why your thoughts literally shape the physical world, and why every decision you've ever made was both free will and predetermined at the same time. But warning, once you know this, you can't unknow it. Your old life, it ends today. Truth number 1, and this is where it gets weird immediately. You are not in the universe. You are the universe experiencing itself. Every spiritual tradition discovered this independently. The Hindu Vedas call it Tattvam Asi, thou art that. Buddhism calls it interdependence. Even Christ said, I and the Father are one. But here's what blew my mind. Quantum entanglement proves that 2 particles can be connected instantly across infinite distance. Einstein called it spooky action at a distance because it terrified him. It meant that everything is connected in ways we can't even see. That person who cut you off in traffic, on a quantum level, you're literally made of the same consciousness experiencing itself from different viewpoints. When I really understood this, like really got it, I couldn't be angry at anyone anymore. How can you hate your own hand? This is why every enlightened being throughout history preached compassion. They weren't being nice. They understood physics we're just now discovering. Truth number 2 will break your brain. Past, present, and future are all happening right now. Aboriginal Australians call it dream time. Zen masters speak of the eternal now. But quantum physicist Julian Barber proved mathematically that time doesn't exist the way we think it does. Think about this. When you remember yesterday, you're accessing it now. When you imagine tomorrow, you're creating it now. Physics shows us that at the quantum level, particles exist in all possible states simultaneously until observed. Your entire life, birth to death, exists as one eternal moment that your consciousness is moving through like a needle on a record. This is why meditation is so powerful. When you truly enter the present moment, you're accessing the only thing that's ever existed. Depression is living in the past. Anxiety is living in the future. Peace, that only exists right here, right now. Truth 3, and I need you to really hear this. Your consciousness doesn't just observe reality. It creates it. The double-slit experiment destroyed everything we thought we knew. When scientists shot particles through 2 slits, the particles acted like waves. But the second they observed them, they became particles. The mere act of consciousness observing changed physical reality. Every mystical tradition knew this. As within, so without. From Hermeticism, with our thoughts we create the world. From Buddha, faith can move mountains. From Christianity, they weren't speaking metaphorically. Dr. Masaru Emoto proved that human consciousness affects the molecular structure of water. Positive thoughts created beautiful crystals. Negative thoughts created chaotic structures. Your body is 70% water. Your thoughts are literally reshaping you at a molecular level every second. This is why every spiritual master emphasized controlling your thoughts. It's not self-help fluff. You're programming reality with every single thought. When I started treating my mind like a reality-creating machine instead of just a thinking tool, my entire life transformed in 6 months. Truth 4. Everything contains its opposite. This is the secret to ending all suffering. The Tao calls it yin and yang. Hinduism calls it Shiva and Shakti. Even physics has matter and antimatter. But here's what nobody tells you. You cannot know light without darkness. You cannot experience joy without sorrow. Every peak requires a valley. This isn't cruel, it's the fundamental architecture of experience itself. When I was depressed for 2 years, I fought it every day. Then I discovered this principle. Depression wasn't my enemy. It was the necessary counterbalance to expansion. The moment I accepted it, it transformed into wisdom. Now, when I face challenges, I ask, what is this the opposite of? What is trying to be born through this contrast? The ancient Stoics had a phrase, amor fati, love your fate, not because it's good, but because it's necessary for the good to exist. Truth 5. Everything is vibration, and you can tune yourself like a radio to any reality you want. Nikola Tesla said, if you want to understand the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. The ancient Egyptians knew this. The pyramids are built on specific frequencies, Tibetan singing bowls, Gregorian chants. They're all using sound to alter consciousness. String theory suggests that the smallest particles are actually vibrating strings. Different vibrations create different particles, different realities. Your emotions, their frequencies. Love vibrates at 528 Hertz. Fear vibrates at 100 Hertz. When you change your emotional frequency, you literally tune into a different version of reality. This is why gratitude is so powerful. It's high frequency. Complaint is low frequency. You're not just changing your mood. You're changing what universe you're living in. Truth 6. You've lived this exact life an infinite number of times, and you'll live it infinite times more. Nietzsche called it eternal recurrence. Hinduism calls it the wheel of samsara, but quantum mechanics suggests something even stranger. The many worlds interpretation says every possible version of your life is happening simultaneously. Here's the mind bender. If the universe is infinite and eternal, then every possible arrangement of atoms must repeat infinitely. This exact moment, these exact words, this exact feeling, it's happened before and will happen again. But here's the liberation in this. If you're living the same life infinitely, then this moment is your chance to perfect it. Every choice echoes through eternity. That's why the Buddha emphasized right action. You're not just choosing for now, you're choosing for always. Truth 7. And this is the one that changes everything. You are God experiencing what it's like to be you. I know how this sounds, but stay with me. Alan Watts explained it perfectly. You are an aperture through which the universe is looking at and exploring itself. Every religion hinted at this. The kingdom of God is within you. Atman is Brahman. There is no deity except Him. Think about dreams. In your dream, you create entire worlds, multiple characters, complex storylines. But when you wake up, you realize it was all you. The dreamer, the dream, and the dreamed, all one consciousness. This reality, it's the same thing on a cosmic scale. You're not a human seeking a spiritual experience. You're infinite consciousness having a human experience. Every person you meet is you living another life. Every moment of suffering, every moment of joy, it's all the universe knowing itself through infinite perspectives. Look, I know this is a lot. Your mind might be fighting some of these ideas. That's normal. It took me years to integrate these truths, but here's what I want you to do right now. Choose one of these 7 truths, whichever one hit you the hardest. For the next 7 days, live as if it's completely true. Act from it. Make decisions from it. Watch what happens. And if this video opened something in you, if you felt that shift, that recognition of something you've always known but forgot, then share this with someone who's ready. Not everyone is ready for these truths, but those who are need to hear them. Drop a comment with which truth shook you the most. I read every single one, and the conversations below these videos are where the real magic happens. And remember, you didn't find this video by accident. You're exactly where you need to be, exactly when you need to be here. The universe is waking up to itself through you. The question is, what are you going to do with this awakening?